The heat was on for England at Wembley, and Luxembourg were in the sights of under-fire captain Alan Shearer, who also took time out to greet his new manager at Newcastle, Bobby Robson. And the guest of honour in turn could smile at a familiar old face, Stuart Pearce, and the newcomer, Kieran Dyer. For Kevin Keegan, though, unbeaten still means average. He knew it was time for England to deliver. Good evening and welcome to the big match. There's no room for any more mistakes if England are going to appear in next summer's European Championship finals. Victories over today's opponents and Poland on Wednesday will guarantee a playoff place. With us, Terry Venables, the man who took England so close to glory last time around. Terry's views on the day's events to come, plus action from some of the other home nations qualifiers. But first, it's Wembley, England against Luxembourg. Commentary comes from Ron Atkinson, and first, Clive Tilsley.
Kevin Keegan has already said there will be changes for Poland on Wednesday. England are still auditioning. But 8 changes today have produced only one new face, Kieran Dyer. A change of role for David Beckham, though, and a change of sides for Steve McManaman. Neither fullback is playing in his club position, but only Ray Parlour on the left could really claim to be out of position. Stuart Pearce will provide the balance there. Dyer and McManaman team up on the right. Alan Shearer and Robbie Fowler await the results. 6 of this team faced England last year in Luxembourg, where number 7 Danny Tice missed an early penalty. Strange things do still happen in international football, but whatever happens to England in the coming week, the Luxembourg team will return to their day jobs. The officials are from Belarus. Batty, Beckham, Fowler and Shearer all have a yellow card to their name. The margin of victory makes no practical difference to England's chances of qualifying, but a tough thumping rout could make all the difference to morale ahead of Wednesday's summit meeting in Poland, Ron.
Yes, it's important. They'll win the game, that's for sure. It's very, very important, though, that they play with confidence and weigh in with a few goals into the bargain.
Number 8 for Luxembourg is Vanek. Saibeni. But immediately under pressure, Ralph Ferron from Ray Parlour in that rather unfamiliar position out on the left-hand side. The no-hopers of international football have had their moments during these qualifiers. Cyprus have beaten Spain, the Faroes held Scotland, Andorra lost only to a single late goal to the world champions France. Shearer managed to get 2 hands on the ball and was helped up by his defender. And England starting with a purpose to avoid any such embarrassments here this afternoon. Fowler. Pearce couldn't resist. It is worth recalling that Luxembourg are without a point in Group 5 and without a win in 4 years.
Good positive start from England, though. This is the Pearce shot that goes over the bar. I was actually having a chat with Stuart before the match, asking him whether he was a good bet for the first goal. Not on the evidence of that, he's not.
Adams to Beckham and now Batty. Tossed forward down the inside left channel for Fowler's run. Ferron as far as Parlour. Well, Fulton had to get a hand to that. It is a corner kick. Ambitious effort by Ray Parlour coming inside onto his favoured right foot.
Yeah, I think when he's hit this Parlour, he drive inside, which is natural tendency. He'll think when he's hit that's a poor shot, and yet they've got a corner out of it.
Corner which has brought both Keown to the near post and Adams to the far. Beckham. Saibeni away. Parlour's challenge on Christoph. The ball bounces clear for Pearce. Keown still forward. England throw.
Yeah, what's been good about the England start is, all right, you know, even taking into account the opposition. They've started at a tempo, they've started driving. What I don't think they should allow themselves to do is get overindulged with a little passing game in midfield that goes nowhere. It's been bright and lively, and you can see goals coming any minute if they keep this sort of tempo up.
Headed forward by Pearce. Turned away by Charles as far as Parlour. Pearce again. Into Shearer. Trying to set up Batty. Encouraging him to come forward. Tucked into McManaman! Will he get there? No! Funk off the line. Batty still with a chance. Fowler couldn't make anything of it. Cleared in the end by Charles, although it was the blonde-haired defender Nico Funk who made the goal line clearance to deny Steve McManaman his first international goal. Kieran Dyer in towards Fowler this time. Side Bene managed to hook it high into the air where Shearer wins it. Luxembourg manning their trenches.
This is one of the best balls I've ever seen Batty play. Clever one through. Keeper takes the sting out of it, and Funk just gets back and makes a great recovery challenge. All emanates from a great ball from Batty.
Dyer. The Red Sea just parted for Kieran Dyer. He was tripped and has won a penalty for England. And Kieran Dyer, a little over 10 minutes into his international debut, with a piercing run into the heart of the Luxembourg defence, has forced a penalty.
Yeah, this desperate, despairing challenge there from the number 4 Beersons, but a good positive run from young Dyer.
Alan Shearer, whose form has never been under greater scrutiny, has a chance to give England just the start they require. Shearer sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, and there is a beaming smile on the face of Alan Shearer again, who has made his first public statement of the week.
Yeah, keeper's jumping and trying to distract him all over the place. That's a good tidy tuck. Side netting, nice and firm, keeper going the wrong way. That'll do him a power of good.
Well, his only goal for Newcastle United so far this season has come from the spot, but in international football, 25 goals now in 52 appearances. It's an outstanding record. Dyer trying to get past Posey. Throw in.
But that's good, that's positive. He's prepared to engage defenders, and that, if you're brave enough, that happens for you. The worst you're going to finish up with is a throw-in or a corner.
Dyer to Batty this time. Parlour. Beckham. Shearer got a flick. Fowler. On towards Shearer again. Ah, yes! Thumping finish from Alan Shearer. His second is England's second. Clear daylight for England. And now you wonder how many more they might score.
Well, this is good combination between the two strikers. A little eyebrows from Shearer. Awareness from Fowler, sees where he is, slams it off his big right foot here, Shearer. Keeper, maybe a better keeper would have done better with that, but full marks for Shearer. But the interplay between the two strikers there, superb.
He's the only man to have started all 5 Kevin Keegan internationals for England, Alan Shearer. Whatever doubts have been expressed, none have been expressed by his international manager. And Keegan's faith in him repaid with 2 goals in the opening half hour here today.
I don't think we can underestimate the value of the young right back Dyer's playing in both of those. It was his initial burst up there that enabled us to keep the play in their half of the field. So the first run gets us the penalty, of course.
Batty. Fowler trying to flick the ball on. Alan Shearer's name echoes around Wembley Stadium. Dyer. Batty. Parlour. Now Beckham. Fowler. Parlour. This is slick play from England. Shearer's there again, and McManaman has made it 3. on, and England are coasting. And Steve McManaman has scored the first goal of his international career.
Some more good work from Robbie Fowler there, though. Smooth ball into a cunning little flick, well aware. As the ball's fed up, as Shearer missed the best ever chance he's going to have of a hat-trick there. Tries a little back flick when I think he could have side-footed it in. But fortunately, McManaman's in there, tucks it away.
It's Steve McManaman's 25th game for England. He has popped a couple of goals in for his new club Real Madrid in the build-up to the new season in Spain, but that's a significant goal in his career, his first for his country. This is Schneider. Christoph was offside anyway.
He should realise with the Arsenal centre-halves there, they're not going to let him stray in there and not be offside. I think one more goal, you know, now Clive gives the England manager that luxury to start planning. You can already start planning, of course, for Poland, but whether or not he wants to protect anybody, whether he wants to give anybody a try for that, namely Michael Owen.
Harlan. Dyer. Nicely played. Harlan.
They've done that a lot, England. I know they're not playing in. Sometimes you have to be careful of how you're judging it. I know they're not playing against the greatest team in the world by a distance, but they have played balls past people and through people. They've tried it there. It's probably the first one Batty's tried that hasn't come off. They've certainly not been too negative in the passing or overplayed.
This is Tice. Adams. Now Beckham. Shearer's run into extra space. Goalkeeper committed here. Felgen has made it. Schneider. Christoph. Vanek will try the effort from long range. It bounced a little awkwardly in front of Martin. McManaman. Keown. Now Dyer. So much energy about him and so much belief. Well, like handball, but Dyer can still go on. And there's Shearer. Alan Shearer's first England hat-trick. And it's come inside 34 minutes. And it's come in one of the biggest weeks of his big career, and Kieran Dyer with another assist. He's limping, I'm afraid.
I bet Bobby Robson up there. I mean, that's a handball. Good decision from the referee. No, Shearer's in. I had a feeling when Shearer arrived he was offside, but no, he's run through it. This little lad, Bobby Robson, must be thinking he's watching Stanley Matthews again here.
It's going on 3 years since Alan Shearer's last hat-trick. That was for Newcastle United against Leicester City in the Premiership. But the delight on his face mirrored on that of his manager, and Shearer has answered some, if not all, of the doubts and critics with 3 goals before half-time here for England. Beckham a little bit late. He's got to be careful, Beckham. Has a card against his name. The referee's looking at the player down and suggesting that Luxembourg played out of play. And it's a warning for Beckham here from the referee.
You know, play went on a long time after that injury. I got a feeling the referee would have booked Beckham if he'd have stopped play straight away. That might come back to what we were saying earlier. Kieran Dyer's coming back on after treatment. Whether Kevin Keegan might see the value in taking one His two central midfield players, for instance, are both on sudden death.
Well, no treatment necessary for Vanek, who's back on his feet, but certainly in other circumstances, Beckham could have picked up a card there. Bennett looking for Ferrell down that right-hand side. He is having to do some defending, as he does in a typically muscular fashion.
You think he'd leave them alone when you at his age. Let them get on with it. Stuart, don't knock the lads about. I'm talking to him before the game. He was so chuffed. He was so made up. It's brilliant, really, isn't it? That somebody with this spirit, and that is lesson for everybody. That.
He wants to be coaching the England under-18 team in the coming week, but he's got other matters on his mind now. Beckham, Batty onside here. Luxembourg undone. David Batty and Stephen McManaman have scored again, and England have 5. A novelty, a McManaman headed goal.
I thought we were going to see a bigger novelty then. I thought we were going to see a Batty goal.
No.
That was brilliant. I mean, a superb little ball. All the space in the world to run to. There is a suggestion, I think, of offside on that one. Little chip in as well. Just nicks it in. Great little glancing header from McManaman. You know, we're all talking about the confidence thing. It's good. Looks in. That's a good header there from McManaman. I mean, McManaman a couple of goals now. That's good confidence for him. Took his criticism last year. Could be just what he needs.
There'll be one or two worried expressions on the face of England international football. The end of last season carried over into the start of this, but a lot of smiles inside Wembley this afternoon. Let's hope they're still smiling in Warsaw on Wednesday night. Dyer. Parler. Beckham. Dyer to Batty, and now Pierce. Clipped in towards Fowler, headed away by Charles. Posing just lifting the ball to Tice, but Luxembourg just want it anywhere down the field. It's very much damage limitation on their minds now.
Yeah, these two, the two on the ball at the moment, two Arsenal centre-halves and the goalie, have probably got the hardest job in the England team, trying to stay awake. It's so important in games like this that they just do keep that concentration.
Batty to Pierce.
I think they'll have a lot more to do on Wednesday.
Here's McManaman. Rolled in towards Fowler, but two defenders descending quickly on the ball. The defence has been the order of the day for Luxembourg. Their mass ranks, though, have been penetrated on 5 occasions already. Parler a little unlucky, trying to take posing on the outside. So far, so good. The first time in more than 5 years, England have scored 5 times in an international. Alan Shearer's first hat-trick for his country takes him into the top 6 post-war scorers for England. 27 is his international total now. But most important of all, at an early stage of proceedings, it's mission accomplished for England. The 3 points are on the way. And what follows now is just a question of topping up the confidence in preparation for Poland on Wednesday. Half-time in this nationwide sponsored international at Wembley is England 5, Luxembourg 0. Overseas teams used to tremble at the very mention of the place, but only 3 have been beaten in the last 8 internationals here at Wembley. Mind you, in their 2 previous visits, Luxembourg have conceded 14 goals, so this is about the going rate. 5 in the first half. 1 change from the first half has seen Kieran Dyer give way to Gary Neville at right back. Dyer has a car problem, and Neville, who made his club comeback in Monaco last Friday, makes his international comeback today. And Ron Atkinson, what do you say to a team that's leading 5-0 at half-time, or do you know?
No, I think you just say you just keep the tempo going, keep your tempo high. I am surprised that Kevin hasn't changed 1 or 2. Certainly Beckham, who, like you said in the first half, was at high risk. Maybe he just wants to see how they shape up a little bit with... he's been forced to make 1 change with Neville. coming on, but that'll be a good break for Neville. Gives him an opportunity under no pressure to start his international comeback.
Maybe Stuart Pearce here won't feel quite as old now. Diagon. Here's Shearer, tumbled by Funk. It's a pretty crude challenge by Nico Funk. Shearer made some space. It was a clean hit by Alan Shearer, but always rising over the crossbar.
Yeah, but that's emanating from the three he's got in the first half. His confidence is high once more. He's greedy now, and rightly so.
Only Lofthouse, Finney, Greaves, Lineker and Charlton have now scored more post-war goals for England. Beckham. Coached into the path of Parlour. Well, it would have been Shearer. Instead it was Funk.
Been a long time since England have played at Wembley and demonstrated a fair few backheel flicks out the air and all that sort. It's a luxury they've not often had.
Beckham looking for Parlour.
Yeah, they've done the reverse. They've switched again now. McManaman and Parlour. Parlour's gone running down the right-hand side. McManaman come out here on the left.
Danny Tice. There's a hopeful and in the end hopeless ball for Marcel Christophe, the lone frontman. Here's towards Shearer. Funk struggling to catch up. It's McManaman. It's too high for Fowler. Cleared by the number 11 Patrick Posing. Fowler and McManaman, great friends. Strange that McManaman's got the goals, really.
Yeah, Fowler's had one good chance in the first half, a ball that was blocked by
Neville,
the keeper.
in towards Fowler, and McManaman almost stole a hat-trick off the toe of Alan Shearer there.
They're queuing up again, the ball's whipped in here and they're all bombing in. McManaman, as you said, just gets the touch. Good ball into the danger area. A little touch on beforehand as well.
Shearer shot, I think, at the end.
Was it?
Here's to McManaman. Patty. It's a mercifully cooler afternoon than we started with. Neville surging forward. In towards Fowler, let it run, McManaman. Well, some would say that was more typical of Steve McManaman's finishing.
I mean, that's great appreciation from Fowler here. Dummies lets the little ball run. He knows that's a goal. But unless McManaman guessed somebody else was coming up on the outside.
Pearce. Funk just getting in front of Shearer. And we're going to see a little bit of Michael Owen and Phil Neville are going to join the action. Tony Adams is going to give way to Phil Neville first, who's played in all Manchester United's games this season and has now figured in all Kevin Keegan's England internationals. And David Beckham will be substituted in order to facilitate the return to international football of Michael Owen. One star goes off to be replaced by another. It's his first game for Kevin Keegan in an England shirt. And after a summer of hamstring problems, after 2 years really without a break from football, Michael Owen is back on the big stage. And England have got Shearer, Fowler and Owen on the field. Parlour. Space for Shearer. Gary Neville with a cross. Almost diverted past his own goalkeeper by Pearson's.
Yeah, you're looking for a good ball in here when it's rolled back into him. Gary Neville. He doesn't really make it a good ball, but the defender almost makes it one for him.
Pearce taking up the Adams mantle here and coming forward along with Keown for the corner. Harder taking over the responsibility from Beckham of taking it. Towards Martin Keown. Alan Shearer trying to turn. Stuart Pearce! Oh, that must be how he dreamt it last night. Stuart Pearce, 37 years young, marks his return to international football. Oh, wait a minute. That'll wipe the smile off his face. And it's only just being pointed out to Pearce now that there was an England player in an offside position right in front of the goalkeeper.
Oh, that England player will get so much flack after the match, I can understand.
Robbie Fowler better keep his head down, I think.
It's a good knock in. He's kept the ball in the box late into his run. Fowler can't get out of his way. It's a big boomer.
Right decision.
Oh yes, by all means. He's in the danger zone. He's in the active area, putting the keeper off. But that won't pacify Stuart Pearce.
Owen. McManaman. Phil Neville. McManaman on to Owen. Shearer was waiting, really good header by Charles. Gary Neville. Into Shearer again. Shearer's this time by Saibene. David Batty maybe. Lifted into McManaman. Fowler trying to make something of it. Pearson's did just enough. Still awaiting the first England goal of the second half. McManaman, Batty. McManaman's on a hat-trick. It's held up though by Alverdi and eventually robbed by Saibene. Harder to McManaman. Phil Neville. And a corner kick from Ferrell. McManaman. Cleared away by Vanek as far as Parla. And now Keown. Now Batty, Parla, good turn, Ray Parla!
Another one of those little sharp one-touch passes. I think he felt he was being hung onto there a little bit, Parla. Ref gives the advantage and unfortunately fires wide of the far stick.
Only by a foot or so. Who got the winner in the Charity Shield here last month for his club side. McManaman. Finding going well. Fowler. Batty. Phil Neville. In towards Owen! His name has been part of the headlines in the build-up to this game, and it wouldn't surprise you if his name was back in lights again before the week's out.
Well, once he gets a touch on here, it's a million. It's going in, isn't it? I mean, how that stayed out, I don't know. Ball in, he does what he does well, gets in between defenders, gets the slightest glance, and it's gone well wide, actually.
Batty. Owen has pulled wide to the right-hand side and played Gary Neville in here. First touch wasn't the best, but he'll retain possession. Fowler! Well, it's a pretty comfortable height for the goalkeeper Felgen, who just pushed it away for a corner.
Yeah, you have to feel when he came in, though, it's some good play between Neville and Owen. Bit of resilience, gets the ball in. I thought then that's a goal, because Fowler's very, very good in the air for a small guy.
Pearson's away. Batty. Hala. Pierce. Now McManaman. Lifted in towards Shearer.
Thought he caught Alan Shearer a little bit by surprise, then he threw it in very, very early when he checked back on his right foot, McManaman.
Time for reflection now for the England coach. Average is not a word that you ever associate with anything to do with him. That's how he described his record thus far as national manager prior to today's game. Owen! I think the goalkeeper had his post covered. Owen just pulled it a little bit.
I think the most energetic Luxembourg player out the lot's been the coach. He's been up and down the flank, up the flank. Hasn't had a pass yet.
He actually played against England and Kevin Keegan in a 5-0 defeat here in 1977 for Luxembourg. Deja vu for Paul Philippe. Owen retained possession. McManaman. Owen again. He's curled it! Hello, look who's back. Michael Owen is a factor in the thinking for Wednesday, thanks to a truly wonderful individual goal to round off England's romp of an afternoon.
Well, this is an out-and-out spotter's badge, isn't it? Curl, beautifully placed, beautiful tucked away. He signalled his intent, he's back.
Inch perfect from Owen.
That, I think, will be Kevin Keegan's biggest fillip of the afternoon, that.
Well, it's given him something to think about, that's for sure. Because Shearer's got a hat-trick and Fowler has been outstanding, but the outstanding goal of the day ends the day from Michael Owen. It's a fact of life that the 3 points were more important than the number of goals that England scored. 3 points that became a formality. But England won them with a flourish. A Shearer hat-trick would have done a lot for his standing and confidence. Several other bonuses and no alarms for Kevin Keegan. The European Championship finals are still very much in reach after England's best win for more than 6 years. Still to come, reaction from the dressing rooms and from Terry Venables in the studio, and action from the European Championships involving Scotland and the Republic of Ireland today. But the action at Wembley has ended England 6, Luxembourg 0.